All right, so this is Gut Grinder. What we got? We got the soft people are being attacked by something called the Gut Grinder that's eating their gold, so they cover it with a cup. But then they take it out of the cup, and they admit this was kind of a bad idea, because then the Gut Grinder eats the gold again. And everyone thinks it's Jake, because this thing apparently looks like Jake and is huge, and Jake is so drawn in by this that he actually thinks he might be the Gut Grinder, but he can't be because Finn watches him when he sleeps.
But when does Finn sleep?
Justice never sleeps.
Yes.
I was
better than any Batman out there.
I was disturbed by both those.
Not the fact that he takes pictures?
3 of those I was very disturbed by. Yeah, that was probably the funniest line, but it's also like really creepy.
Yeah.
It's the first time Finn's like, and they draw him in a lot of weird ways, but it's like, oh, whatever, a little boy, fun, haha. It's like, no, that was creepy.
Yeah.
And the way his eyes get really big, like, you know, I watch you when you sleep. So they go and Jake turns himself in, thinking he's the Gut Grinder, and then Finn lures out the real Gut Grinder, which is really the Sharpie mayor's wife, who just wants gold so she can buy things, and dressed up like Jake because she thinks Jake is hot. Now, my question with that is, does that technically make her a transvestite because she's dressing like a man because she finds it hot?
Well, I don't think it's transvestite. I think it's more along the lines of, like, cosplay. That's more the way I look at it. It's more cosplay. Because she kind of wants to be Jake, in a sense.
But it's dressing as the other gender, so...
But only briefly, just to steal gold. Kind of like weirdos that go to cons and dress like you.
Except I technically steal their gold because I sell merchandise. Well, that's not stealing. That's more... Well, if they don't like the product, it's kind of stealing, but...
They buy it, so...
Yeah, so... Come to my cons. They're coming up soon. 1 December. He's going to be on 1 December, too. Go see Forced Viewing. Also. What's that address again?
ForcedViewing.com.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube and see my first video. It's called The Drudgeon's Dungeon. I review ghoulies.
Also got a website, theguywiththeglasses.com. You might have heard of it.
What's that?
So what do you think of this episode?
Actually, this is one of the few episodes I was not a fan of.
You know, I was just about to say the same thing. I thought this one was actually kind of a dull one.
And considering it's the season finale, and yes, you people may sit there and go, that's not the proper order or whatever, that's what it is on the DVD, and that's where I see it almost all the time. It's kind of a letdown as a season finale.
I mean, I think the thing about, at the very least, this first season is it doesn't seem like it's going in any particular order. Like, some things do come back and some characters come back, but it's not like it's essential you see this first episode in order to understand these other ones. I mean, they explain it pretty well if you're not caught up. I mean, even if you don't know who the Ice King is, it's like they kind of set up in each episode, you get the gist pretty fast. You know, there's never a last time on Adventure Time, you know, sort of thing. It's not needed.
Yeah.
So I doubt in this season at least they were going for something like that. Like, hey, we got to really leave him on something strong for the season finale. My guess is they probably just picked and choose which one, you know, to do. You know, just like, okay, maybe this one end on, maybe this, you know, hell, they probably picked the least entertaining one to end on because it's like, well, they've seen the rest, and...
I mean, his hero would have been a great one to end on. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just a really top-notch episode, and, like, this one was just kind of like... It was kind of boring and kind of basic. Like, it follows a really relatively simple plot, and it's not as bizarre and random as every other episode pretty much in this season.
Yeah, that's really what I was sort of noticing, is that, like, you know, boy, there really was sort of like this, when the other ones would get so random, they would be so constantly random and just so constantly crazy, and I think that was just, maybe that's why it felt a little dull, because it's like, you know, just sort of, like you said, it's a straightforward story, and I miss sort of that craziness and not knowing where it's going. Though I thought maybe he was going to sleepwalk, but... I mean, I guess I couldn't predict exactly what the ending was, but... Yeah, just not as much randomness, not as much craziness, so it didn't do too much for me. All except the I watch you when you sleep line. Like, that was a creepy but also funny line.
Well, I
So
do like when
enjoyed
they're
that.
running up to the gut grinder and they're like, cut open his stomach.
Yeah, no, and then when they actually cut him up, I'm like, oh my god! And it's like, oh, it's a costume, okay. But I did sort of do like a double take, like, holy crap! Like they did that on a kid show. It's like, but yeah, obviously it's just cloth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other like major stuff with this one. I mean, I can't think of too much to say about it.
I did like the old guy who's in prison just because he likes the grubs. And he takes the little grub and tosses it in his mouth, and you see the little guy just like...
I get the one other thing I'll say is that I did laugh a little bit just at the design when Jake gets his feet the size of Finn's, but he doesn't change anything else. I thought that was kind of cool. Actually, it's very Salvador Dali the more I think about like the giant animals that suddenly have like the really thin legs. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I liked when the bag ripped open. When Finn's backpack opened up and there's underwear and an eyeball,
it's like an eyeball,
and a potion
yeah.
and just random things. And the viola. The all-powerful viola.
Actually, one other thing I'll comment on is when Jake thinks he's the gut grinder and he's trying to, go like, I am the gut grinder. All I could think of was Phelan whenever he does his yelling voice, like, I'm the rock biter. Yeah. It's like, I really got that watching this. And I don't know if it's just me. Well, watch the episode if you haven't, guys. Just tell me if that's just me or not.
I'm never going to see that ever again the same way.
So now everyone will tune into this episode, even though it's like probably not popular. They'll just be like, oh, see, that dude sound like Phelan. So
I do love when Jake runs up and grabs Finn from under the gut grinder and just hucks him.
yeah,
to
just
the
throws
side.
him. Yeah, I mean that got a little laughs. So there's a couple like little laughs. I mean, it's not like awful or
Yeah.
anything. I mean, it's not like, oh my god, what an insult. I mean, it's not that at all. But yeah, just sort of, just sort of mediocre. So
Out of all the episodes so far that I've seen, it's one of my least liked, though.
yeah, so it doesn't mean it's horrible. It just
No.
means like it was definitely one where I was sort of becoming aware of the time. Like okay, let's what the next one's about,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So, but yeah, it wasn't painful or anything. So yeah, there it is. Any other parting words?
Dougie, why did you eat my fries?
You have fries? You go watch me while I sleep, aren't you?
Who says I don't already? She lets me in the house.
This isn't funny. Don't laugh at that.
No, it's really funny. Because when you sleep, you have no idea what goes on. You think you're famous just because of your videos? No, you have to see how many pictures are... Hi.